Hello. We're live now. Okay. Good. All right. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on what part of the world you're joining us from. My name is Brenda Unu, and I'm super excited to have you here. Sorry, I'm trying to find my YouTube. Oh, okay. Yes, I'm live now. Okay, good afternoon, good evening. Sorry, I was looking for the links that I can share with my communities and they can join us live. So if you're here, and if you can see me, if you can hear me, let me know in the chat and tell me. My name is Brenda Unu and I am live with you. Yes, I'm live now. Right? Women's Matters is that program that brings you wisdom from on high on every matter that you can imagine that concerns the woman. And this is the month of February. We're super excited to have you. What is February known for? February is the month of love. So I hope you're having some love where you are. Well, we're going to talk about different parts of love, different things concerning love this the whole month of February. Well, first things first, I want you to know that we want to talk to you about our conference, 2025 conference tagged Women Thrive. Did you hear about it? Were you there? If you weren't, you missed, royally missed. So, and because of popular demand and too many people asking me, we're going to put together something for our virtual audience, for our audience from all around the world, and those people not in Lagos. We're going to be having something for you guys, and it will come up next week, Saturday. So mark your calendar. It's going to be super, it's going to be exciting, and you're going to love that you came. So welcome again, and let's dive into it. I'll be sharing you some snippets on my Instagram page. Are you not following us on Instagram? I'll put the link in the chats now so you can go and follow us on Instagram and catch all of the updates while you wait for your own virtual session that will hold next week, Saturday, same time. And so let's go. What are we talking about today? Like I said, the month of love, and we're talking about love languages. Who knows what the five love languages are? If you're here and you can see me and hear me, let me know in the chat. Trying to get, yeah, let me get the link to share it. I'll be right back. So if you're here and you can hear me and you can see me, let me see the links in the chat. Let me see your name in the chat where you're joining us from, and also what you let me see. Let me see your name in the chat. Let me see your link in the chat. Let me see where you're joining us from. And if you know anything about the five love languages, let me hear it from you now. Let me hear it. Let me hear you say, what do you know about the five love languages? Are they five? Are they six? Or are they even more? What do you know? Give me a second. I'm trying to share link to my community so that they can join us here live. Awesome. So I'm back. Back now, and yeah. So what was I saying? There are five love languages, and today we're going to be talking about how do you understand the love languages of your family members? Because at the end of the day, where the Bible says the charity begins at home. Charity is another name for love, and so love should begin at home. If you think you're a lovable person, you're outside and everybody tells you, oh, you're such a nice person, such a sweet person, and your family members at home don't think you are loving, then there is a problem. There is a disconnect. So you have absolutely, absolutely, and totally and completely need to start your loving from the house. So how do you start your loving from the house? I'll tell you a story. First of all, I'll explain what the five love languages are. They were made popular by Gary Chapman in his book, Five Love Languages by Gary Chapman. Now, if you haven't read the book before, I suggest you get it. If you don't even have the time to get it, just Google five love languages and you see all I'm talking about. Now, what are the five love languages? The five that are very famous. The first one is words of affirmation. Now, I'm going to say this in no particular order, but I'll be giving you the five love languages. First is words of affirmation. Second is physical touch. Third is quality time. Fourth is acts of service. And fifth is So I'm just going to write them down. One is words of affirmation, words of affirmation. Two is physical touch. Three is quality time. Four is acts of service. And five is physical touch, words of affirmation. And five is gifting. Gifting. Now, which one of these is your love language? So we're going to run through them quickly before we start to talk about, how you can share them with your family, understand your family's own. The first one is words of affirmation. As it sounds, there are people who receive these as their love language. It's people who they feel loved when you tell them. Okay, so when you say nice things to them, like you give them, compliments, or you tell them nice stuff, or you give them, really deep words. Like I'm a words of affirmation person. So once you tell me something really nice, like, oh, I really like what you did yesterday, or you commend me, or you compliment me, I mean, it goes, I feel loved. And that is essentially what love languages are. If you are two people in a relationship and you see what is your love language, it means how do you receive love? It doesn't mean how do you give love. It's the language is in the way you receive. Do you understand? So basically, if I say that my love language is words of affirmation, it means I receive love when people give me words of affirmation. Now, many times, because I receive love as words of affirmation, I tend to give words of affirmation too. But we have to be careful to know that you do not give what you like, but what the other person likes. And that's the whole basis of the love language conversation. Okay. So first of all, words of affirmation, nice words, compliments, just really nice things for you to say to somebody. The second one is physical touch. Now, this includes hugging, touching, and for married couples, even intercourse, right? But it involves for the rest of us in the filial or platonic relationship is basically hugging, hand holding, and all of those kind of things. Some people really need the touch of another human to feel loved. And this is about hugs. I mean, I have one child who is the chief hugger of Nigeria. So yes, if physical touch is the person's primary love language, you need to be giving them. You can't be telling them I love you without hugging them when all that they receive is from hugging. Did you get that? Okay, so that's number two, physical touch. Number three is quality time. And there are some people who, no matter how much you tell them, no matter how much you hug them, if you cannot sit with them for some time, you are not showing them love, right? So you know how there are many women who say, oh, their husband is very busy. He goes about, he buys them the dance, buys them, live in big houses and all of that, but they do not feel loved because their husband is never there. Now, those people, their love languages are quality time. Some people don't even care. They don't see, guy, you don't have to be around. Just credit my answer. Give me money and I'll be good. Now, if you're that kind of person, then quality time is not your love language. For quality time, is the love language of most children. Of course, we'll come back to that again. I just want to go through all of the five again, okay? And the fourth one is, I mean, like I said, is in no particular order that I'm writing them. Fourth one I have on my list is act of service. Now, here it means that the person likes when you do something for them. So, many women are on this table. We feel loved when you come and help us in the kitchen, help us, with the baby, help us with stuff and all that. So that's acts of service. Okay, that's how we feel loved. That is for most women. Hi, Sunshine. Thank you for joining. So that's how most women feel loved, acts of service. Now, last one is gifting. And under these gifting, I have plenty of things. I have money, gifts, food, everything, anything that you give to somebody, and many of us are on this table as well, especially women. We love it when you gift or something. I think everybody should be on this table because even the word of God says that for God so loved the world that he gave his only son. Like if you're not giving me, you're not loving me. I don't even understand what people are saying. It should be like the number one word of the number one love language, gifting. Because hello, what are you loving if you cannot give? Right? I get it. So now run through the five love languages, which is words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and gifting, right? So now we're going to be talking about how to understand your family members' love languages. I mean, the simplest way is to just simply ask them. Do you see? You don't have to stress. Don't crack your brain, worry yourself, and be looking for what is not lost. Hello, sir. How do you want to feel loved? Hello, ma. How do you feel loved? And save yourself heartache. I mean, for 13 years in my marriage will be 18 years this year. So I'm telling you, a significant part of my marriage for 13 years, I was under the mistaken impression that my husband's love language was gifts. Do you see? For me, I told you gift is okay, gift and words of affirmation are my primary love languages because, like I said, everybody needs gifts, and God loved the word I give. So don't even argue with that one. I love gifts. I love money. I love anything that you give to me. Show me that you love me. I take it. So I thought that was everybody's love language, right? So I'm always big on gifting. So every year when it was my husband's birthday, I'll buy him a gift, and he will take it to and keep it. Oh, thank you, and keep it somewhere. The next year, I'll increase my budget and buy another gift. It's more expensive. You take, okay, and drop it. So I kept on thinking it was because the things were not quality or they were not very expensive. So I kept on trying to top my budget each year, trying to outdo the one that I did the previous year. But it never struck a chord. In fact, the year that it was so bad, he just carried the gift I gave him and dashed it to his younger brother. My heart was broken. I was like, what? I'll never buy you a gift again. But what I was now wondering, how can I get this guy, to feel like, I did something? Because he always used to give me really nice gifts. And, for me, gifts was my love language. So I was always on over the moon. I wanted to reciprocate this love, but I was never hitting the right track. Until one year, somebody say, 1 year. In that year, I now decided that I would try something different. And I know my husband likes to have friends around. He loves to have friends around. Like I kid you not. My husband can just call the person and say, come and have dinner with us. Like he doesn't even ask me whether I have meat in the freezer or whether whether there's food in the house. He's just like, come and have lunch with us. That's the kind of person that he is. He loves to have people around, he loves to host. So I looked and looked and looked and thought, okay, so I've got the right, present for this guy. And I said to him, listen, I said, not that kind of person can do surprise for forget it. If you try it, you'll be left on your own. So I told him clearly, bro, what are you doing for your birthday this year? I said, I don't know. He said, how about you invite 15 of your friends and let me cook for you guys and host you? And I'm like, will you? I said, yeah. We're just moving to the house. We have a nice rooftop. And I said, let me host you guys and cook you. And I was like, okay, I like it. So I crafted the text for him to get to the friends and I said, okay, so let me know, when I picked a date and he was so excited. Next thing, my guy said, let me pay for decorate the rooftop. I'm like, bro, it's just a small dinner. I don't understand. He said, do we need DJ? I said, no, we do not need DJ. We use boombox. As in, he was so excited, even before the day. Now, on that day, I went and you know, set up the whole table. I cooked most of the food, like most. Maybe I ordered one of that two things, but I cooked a spread. I set the table up. They had a buffet style, the eggs, the drink. Of course, he bought the drinks because food I offered. So, he was so excited. He was so excited. was super excited. He was so happy. All of them were happy. We were like, oh, wow, man, you did so well. And they were talking about it for the rest of the week. Do you guys know? For 1 week, every day, my husband took me out to lunch, like out, like a restaurant, to say he was going to thank me for, you know, giving him such a lovely birthday. I didn't buy gift too. Okay, the whole food I cooked too, plus my energy, plus the money I spent too, was not 200,000. And he was so, so happy. And that day, the Holy Spirit dropped it in my heart that this is it. The guy was an act of service person. That was how he received love. And I've been wasting my energy buying gifts, buying gifts, buying gifts, buying gifts. It was an act of service of cooking, serving, and hosting his friends that touched him so deeply that he had to repay me with taking me out to lunch daily for 1 full week to say thank you. I said I've struggled. Of course, since that time I've been hitting my birthday experiences back to back to back. So, do you have any such stories? Have you been able to find what the love language is for your family members? Because it's one thing to know how you receive love, it's another thing to know how the people in your life receive love. Because at the end of the day, what they say again, charity begins at home. Love is supposed to be first in your house. And so we are trying to, build a bond and build a lasting relationship. And how do we do it? By finding their love languages. Okay. So number one, it is to know what the love languages are. I told you again, words of affirmation. Second one is physical touch. The third one is quality time. Fourth is acts of service, and the other one is gifting. So my husband, I told you that his acts of service are his main one is physical touch. Because I think that's the same for all men, to be honest. Well, most men, they just love the other room, physical touch. But when we talk about physical touch, for your filial family members and your platonic friends and all that, the physical touch we refer to is hugging, majorly hand holding, majorly, just touch. So when somebody is sad and everything, you just hold their hand. That really communicates a lot, right? And for most children, physical touch is one of the key. In fact, every child just hug them. I know if your children are teenagers, they may say, "Oh, don't hug me. Oh, don't touch me. Oh, I don't want to." You know what I do with mine? I just tell them, I say, please, you have to hug me. I need it. It's mommy that needs the hug. So now they come to me and I say, I need it. Doctor says I need a hug a day from each of you. So they come and say, okay, mommy, here's your hug for today. And I'm like, oh, I now really, dramatize it. I say, oh, thank you. Oh, you've really made my day. Oh, God bless you. I really dramatize it. They're tired of me. But the point is that they need it. Okay. Children thrive with physical touch. They thrive better with physical touch, with hugs, with touches, and all of those things. And so that's what I do. You must be able to give your children physical touch. Now, the other one is words of affirmation, and children also thrive on words of affirmation. Now, it's said that what you say to your children, yeah, what you use to them becomes their own voice in their head. So imagine how powerful it is that your words are actually affirmative. Can you imagine how important it is that your words are affirmative? So if whatever you say to them becomes their own voice in their head, then you're not going to be saying you're stupid, you're crazy, you're lazy, right? You're going to be saying things like you're powerful, you're beautiful, you're smart, you can do all that you want to do. You are just the best. You are, an amazing person, and everybody would like to be your friend. I mean, you just speak life to them. Like you can do whatever your heart sets to do. You have the mind of Christ. Speak affirmative words to them because that becomes their own voice in their head. Look how powerful this thing is. So yes. So in as much as we say, oh, find your child's love language, all children at some point will have the basics shown, which is physical touch and quality time. In fact, I think it's even one of them because, okay, let's talk about quality time for a bit. Is there any child that doesn't want you to sit with them for a bit? Even if it's mommy, let's play this chess together. Or mommy, let's play cards. Or mommy, let's watch my favorite program together. Or mommy, can you drop your phone for a minute? Yes. Does this sound familiar? Every child needs quality time. So, and when we talk about quality time, it's not about the quantity of time. So when you're like, oh, I'm stay at home, mom, I'm with them all day, all day. No. It's not that time that you're sitting next to them, but you're watching African magic. But sitting next to them when you're pressing your phone, that's not quality time. The quality time is the time in which you're sitting with them, you're focused on them, you're attentive to them, you're hearing what they're saying to you, and you guys are actually having a time together, like you're bonding, you're either playing a game, reading a book together, sitting together, talking about something. That is quality time. And every child needs that to thrive. Okay. So you must spend quality time with your children and build that in. The other one that all children like is that we ask ourselves, children, we are servicing the children already. Like all our life is acts of servicing children. So I don't even think it's a love language, it's a thing. Right? I mean, you bath for them, you dress them, you do stuff for them. You're taking them to school, you're making homework, your life, you're cooking for them. Your life is a service to them. So let's not even go to that one. That cannot be a love language for a child. A child is to be saved. So just be saving your child. What I would say for the last one is the gifting. Now, most children love gifts. I mean, my children love gifts. They're always like, they're all up and up about birthdays, up and up about Christmas. In fact, the Valentine's to the matter. I want to run away. But my point is that they all love to be gifted. But your gifting doesn't have to be expensive. So you need to pace yourself. Like now, in my house now, we have a birthday tradition, and it makes everybody look forward to their birthdays. And to be honest, it started at COVID. I told you how I used to, I had modified my husband's gifting into services, right? So there was this year, it was COVID, and then his birthday was literally the week Nigeria was on lockdown. So I couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't buy anything. And I said, I thought, what would I give this man on his birthday? What could I do? It's his birthday, and I'm big on birthdays. So what I did was I just went to the kitchen, made a nice breakfast, just all kinds of his favorite things, put them on a tray, and had a card. And I took it to him, set it before him in bed, and he was so excited. All the children sang for him. And it was a big deal. He loved it so much. And the next thing, his birthday is in March. The next birthday in my house is mine, which is July 7th. And then the next one is my son, which is July 9th. So, of course, my own just passed like normal, don't make gifts and moved on. My son, he now asked, I said, Mommy, can I get that kind of birthday breakfast that daddy got? And I thought, why ever not? Of course you can. So I gave him a breakfast tray. And then the sisters were like, oh my God, that is so, the nurse like, oh, but it's like, oh, I love it, I love it. And the next thing, the sister said they wanted it. So their birthdays came next in February. Because after that, July, our birthday is finished for the year. So February when the birthdays came, they're like, we want to have that breakfast tray, please, mom. And I had to give them. And before you know it, it became a tradition. So what we do, we now set forth, everybody has their favorite foods, their favorite things that they would like to eat at that breakfast table. And then we set up your gifts, and then everybody comes, brings you down the stairs, royal breakfast. You come, we sing for you, you open your gifts, you eat whatever you like, and you get to share with everybody. It's so much fun and they love it. Like if we do nothing else for your birthday that whole year, that is the high point of their birthday. The fact that they get that breakfast of their own and special breakfast and then the gifts. So look forward to the gifts, of course, because I'm a gifting person. And like I told you, children like gifts. So it's easy. I just listen, right? I listen to what they want, I listen to what they like, I listen to what the hints they drop throughout the year because children do drop hints if you pay attention, and then I curate nice gifts for them. So my daughter's birthday is today, and the younger one's birthday was yesterday. So we're in birthday season in my house, right? So I had two birthdays back to back, yesterday and today. And if you go on my status now on WhatsApp, you'd see some of the videos because I promised them I'll put it on social media, so it can't be on Instagram. It's just on status for a few hours and get out. But if you're in my community, you would have seen the video because I shared the and see the expression from my daughters when they come downstairs and see a breakfast. So typically, we do all this English breakfast and sometimes pancakes, sausages, egg, bacon, kind of ceramic things, bread, burgers, all kinds of things we've done in the past. This year, I tested something different. So for my younger daughter, whose birthday was first, I made her Irish pudding fries eggs, sausages, bacon. She loved it. She's been begging for Irish potato fries for the longest time because the other children outvote her every time and they buy these frozen fries, right? So she's been asking for Irish potato as the real potato cut up and fried. So I made it for her. And she was so happy. As in, she has seen the way her face lit up, something as simple as that, right? Today, now that it was her older sister's birthday, guess what I gave her? Indomie with top suya and veggies in it. And she was like, Indomie. And because that that whole Indomie thingy is usually for their father. He likes it a lot. And once they ask for it, I give to them. So it's not every time they eat it. For her to get it, she was like, oh my God, she was so happy she ate it. And of course, when we set up that your favorite food in quotes, we also put other things. So there's many other things on the table. She had parfait, yogurt, and she had an apple. She had hot dogs in one corner. So she also had egg, bacon, sausages, and all those kind of things, and juice and that. So the idea is that when you take your from rest of it, you have enough, you finish it, so you have enough to share with the other siblings. Gets happy, and it's just a simple tradition that makes the child feel really special. You see, and so that's just one example of the way that I've used love languages to, get my children feeling love and speaking their love language. Now, I'll tell you about how I got them to speak my love language. Because many times as a woman, you tend to give, 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 give. You're the one doing things for everybody, and nobody remembers to do it for you. Do you feel that way? Hmm. I guess you do. Now, here's how I solved that problem myself. Was it last year or was it the year before? I remember. I told my husband, I said, listen, on this birthday of mine, I want to be appreciated and affirmed. He was like, we appreciate you now. What are you talking about, babe? I said, I will be affirmed. Okay. Words of affirmation, highest love language. And I want you to affirm me. So when it's somebody's birthday, I write words for you. I told all my friends, I said, on my birthday, what I want for you guys is to write from your heart, write about me, write who I am to you and what I've done for you. I really want to hear it. And I told everybody that that is what I want. And my goodness, you need to tell people what you want more. I got it, those pressed down, shaking together and running over. It's like God opened heavens and said, talk to my girl, right? My husband, he went to the supermarket. He got 5 cards, one for himself and one for each of the children. And he gave them and said they should write words to their mother. Hey, as in my husband wrote words, he's always saying, I'm not a man of many words. I'm not a man of many words. You know, I love you. Amo, go write it. So he words on an empty card. My children, up to the last baby that was maybe 6 years old or something, he wrote words. I cherish those cards till today because it was really, really touching for me. All of my friends, they sent me messages one after the other on WhatsApp, Instagram, everywhere with words. I sent every single one of those messages. I have my own WhatsApp, you know, message. It's not now that WhatsApp has open message. I used to open a group with myself then, and I forwarded each and every of those messages with the names of them. Every time I feel down. Anytime I feel like, I'm not really feeling myself or something is going on, I'm not really happy, I go there, I read the messages and I smile. I'm like, this is who I am. This is who people say I am. This is how people see me. So I'm doing something right. So and that's what words can do to you. So I'll share this with you today how I was able to get my family to speak my language, right? So it's one thing for you to give to everybody, but you also matter. Remember to teach them how to love you, teach them how you want to be loved. And that's the purpose of the crux of this whole conversation today. Teaching people how to love. Because in understanding the family's love language, we're going to be each of them to teach us how to love. So I speak to my daughters. I say, what is it that you like? Let us know. What don't you like? What do you like? How can we, what? So one of my daughters is not like hug. She will tell you, please don't touch me. Literally. And I just look at I say, listen, when me, I want you to hug me. I need you. So I would just her like that, all that, but she really doesn't like it. So I tone it down with her. And for the other one, I just grab them. So because she doesn't like it, and it's okay, really. What do you like? She's very sensitive to words, so you have to speak to her, with carefulness. If you say any one thing, she will use it against you for the next 5 years. Remember that day that you said X, Z? That's the kind of child that she is. Her own words of affirmation is in the opposite. But what she really like, she likes gifts. She really likes it. She's always and she's very vocal about what gifts she wants. So she tells you. So like she also likes acts of service. She likes quality time. She likes to be with her. Oh, she loves quality time. So there's something I started doing with my kids recently, and that is taking them out on individual dates. I have 4 children. And to be in a household like this, it's easy to get lost, it's easy to feel nothing. So in order to make each child and feel needed and feel heard and seen, we have individual dates with them. So like for the one up to their school, Queen of North America is because you have money and taking each other out. It doesn't have to cost money. It can be as simple as a stroll around the estate. Do you get? And you'll be able to do what you have to. So the point is to spend time with them. So it could be as simple as cooking together in the kitchen, it could be as simple as washing clothes together, but just spending quality time, one-on-one time, phones down, no devices, and you and the child. So it matters. That's one way of showing your children that I see you, hear you are important to me. And that child of mine, that is happening. It's quality time. You've just got to have the time. In fact, in her mind, she's only child. She loves it when you're alone with her. She just lights up, That's how she feels love. Photo, you have to sit down today and write out your children one by one, right? And find out what is it about this child. Who is this one? Who is that one? Who is that one? And just write it down. And when you are guessing, the first thing you need to do is to guess, right? You're going to write their names down. You start with your husband. If you're married, your children, if you're not married, your family members, as in your brother, sisters, mother, father, right? Write all of them, write their names down. And, like I do. Some people may have two dominant love languages, like I do have two. I told you mine is words of affirmation and gifting. Because gifting is everybody's own. Everybody, what is love if you cannot give? So love what that he gave his only son. Hello? That's him telling us right there how to love. So yeah, I would say that giving is a high form of love language. But for me, those are my two. Okay, so I write my name down, Brenda. And this is an exercise you can do with the whole family, right? So Brenda, affirmations and gifted. Yeah. So Tony is my husband's name. All right. The physical touch, because that man, oh my God, physical touch and then acts of service. He also likes quality time, Sha. But I'll leave it at physical touch. Because I don't know, he likes and he likes to say, come and sit with me, let's bond, let's do it together and all this. And in my mind, CV is a waste of time, but what can I do? I will sit down because love wants to kill me. Okay. And for my first daughter, I write what my first daughter, what's love language is. I sit down and I think about, oh, she likes gifts. Oh, she loves gifts. Like you loves gifts. But she also loves quality time because she's the one that sits with you and says, Mommy, I want to talk to you. Like she will drag you and say, can you put your phone down? This child is 17. Can you put your phone down, I'll talk to you? And she'll sit down and she'll look your eye and she can spend the next 1 hour talking about any and everything. Sometimes I'm like, hey God, I have something to submit. This can we this but I love it that she's able to say what she wants. I love it that she's able to command the time that she wants. So she says, I want to speak to you. And and I'll just drop everything and sit down. Well, number one is they communicate to each other, you matter. Number two is they communicate that I see you, I hear you, I love you, I prioritize you. So even when it's not convenient, I can say to her that, oh, um, can we pick this up a little? I'm in the middle of something. Can get back to you on that? And that's fine. But don't let that be every time. Don't let that be every time the child talks to you. Say, oh, can I do it later? It doesn't show that they are your priority. That's important for children. So that's my child number. My child number two is a girl as well, and I think what would be her own love languages? And I'm writing them because I'm going to later, right? And I'm saying this to you to do the exercise as well. Write it down and when you have the conversation with them about love languages, say, okay, this is what it means, and this is what I think is yours. What do you think is mine? Somehow just make it again, right? And play it among each other, and let's see who can guess the right one. That kind of thing. So Fejiro, my second one, and I think that has is quality time as number one. And the second one would be she doesn't like physical touch. No way. Affirmations, no, not really. And maybe gifts as well. I'll take, excuse me, my first son. He's 12. Well, it's going to be 12. He's on plus now. So for him, I'd say that his own is surely. Affirmation. Oh, he loves affirmations. He loves you telling him that he's this and this is my child. Affirmations. And then he don't really like physical touch, but he does it. I just tell him, oh, please. And affirmation, he's such an affirmation person because he gives affirmation so good. That's a kind of way you can know if somebody is an affirmation person. They give as good as they hope to get. Because I'm big on affirmations for everybody because I love affirmations myself, you see. So that's the same way that I found that about my son. He's big on affirmations. And the second thing that he's big on would be hmm, what would be the second thing? Maybe quality time? No, really. He hasn't told me about quality time, but I think I want to spend some quality time with him this week. But hmm, I know information. Maybe gifting. I don't know. He's always asking for Roblox card. Roblox, mommy, buy me a Roblox card. I'm like, dude, I'm not buying stuff ever. Yeah. And my last baby, oh, my last baby, his own is most definitely a hug. So it's a physical. Maybe it's because of his age, I don't know, but he's the chief hugger in our house. And he loves gifts. Oh my days. He's always like, buy me Lego, buy me this, buy me that. And I'm like, dude, you're not gonna run me streets. I don't have money to buy Lego every week. But yeah. And I think that gifts is just big for most children, to be honest. Maybe at their age, they're always collecting. But so yeah, I've just written down the what I think are the proud languages of my family members learn today to ask whether I'm getting right or whether I'm missing something in the conversation. So tell me in the chat if you know what your family members' love languages are. If you don't know where you start from today, I want to write it again for you. The five love languages. And this is from a book by Gary Chapman. Okay. Okay, I've pinned the message. I don't know if you can still see it, even if you joined us later, but where I wrote the five five love languages. So one is the words of affirmation, number two is physical touch, and this is in no particular order, but in just my order. And number three is quality time, number four, acts of service, and number five is gifting. Now I said it's love, which basically is how a person receives love, not how they give it. Okay. So the love language we're referring to today is how a person receives love. So it is one thing for you to receive love in a certain way, and one for the your partner or the other member of your family to receive it in the same way. I shared the story about my husband, whom I had been giving love through gifting because that was one of my primary languages, but it was not his, and he was not having it. So it took me 13 years of hit and miss gifts before I finally struck gold the year that I gave him an act of service as a gift. Since that time, so we do experiences. That's what we do now. The other day I gave him dinner, something that time and I gave him, massage. It's just stuff like that. You know, success. Quality time. Those are the kind of things that I import to him. Not really gifts. It's like, what do you want to buy for me? I think it's a double behavior, but it'll be okay. Me, I like gifts. So unapologetic about it. But before gifts, I think my most primary words of affirmation. So what is yours? What is yours? Anybody want to share with us what their um um love language is? How you receive love? Would you want to share with us? If you know yours, and maybe one other member of your family, because the assignment today is to go sit down and write what you think is the love language of your family members. That is how they receive love, and then go and make game of it. Everybody ask, everybody should guess what the other person's own is, and see how many of you get right answers. Let the owner want to speak and say, yes, 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 I am this. Yes, I am that. Yes, I'm the one. That kind of. So that's what we're going to be doing. Excuse me. That is your assignment for today. I hope you learned something good. And if you have any questions, I'm here. And I'd like to, this is I'd like to take them now. If you have any questions about love languages or about, bonding in the family and family traditions and things like that, I had shared the tradition of my family um, having breakfast specials on your birthday. So if you have any questions, this is the time to ask so that we can expand on your question. Of course, you can type your questions in the chat and I pick it from there. I can see them and I can hear you and I can attempt to answer them. We've been talking about understanding love languages of your family members and how it dovetails into the love month. So we're talking about it's February, it was the month of love. Next week is Valentine's. And what is Valentine's to you? What does love mean to you? What is important in your family? And you know how they say charity begins at home. So yes, love should begin at home. And that's why we're starting our love conversation with understanding love languages of your family members, not necessarily your significant other, not necessarily your romantic relationships or any other relationship. We're starting with the family. So if you're married, let us know. If you're married, go and find your love language for yourself and your husband, your children. If you're not married, for yourself, your siblings, your parents, anybody in your family. It's family love language about. Thank you, Lua Kemi. You said you were here, you have three of your own, your three biggest love languages are words of affirmation, quality time, and gifts. My dear, you have the best of them all. Only you have three. Uh-uh. Yeah, we are going to be a lover girl, but love it, and it's good to know. So the next part of it is to know what is your husband's on, what is your significant other or your family members. Which family member do you have? If you are married, your husband. If you're not married, your siblings or your parents. What are their love languages? And that is how to get ready for Valentine. Now, last year, typically in my home, right, we always done Valentine as husband and wife. So we go out. We even go to hotels and go and spend the night, as in just go away from the children. That's what we've always done every year for the past maybe 16 years. Last year, Valentine fell on Ash Wednesday. As Catholics, that is the beginning of Lent for us, and we're like, hey, God, this is Holy Spirit that is calling our Valentine wrong. So we thought about it and said, let's do Valentine as a family instead. Let's actually do love as a family. So what we did was to call we what we did was to have a family dinner, ordered food in because things if you go outside, can't meet without meat. And we're Catholics again, so Ash was the abstinence from meat. So we had a nice fish dinner at home. And even this week, the kids were happy. They were supposed to see us during Valentine's Day. And my son is born on the 5th of February, so it's the day after Valentine's. So I think his excitement. Every time, every year, we would usually run back from the hotel in the morning to come and set up his own breakfast, there was one year that my older daughter set up for him. And it was just so sweet. But anyway, last year, we did Valentine as a family. So I'm suggesting to you that it could be a thing for you as well. And how do you make time work if you cannot know how your families want? So Kemi again says, husband's on is words of affirmation. Your husband is my kind of guy. I love him, Jerry. For me, it's words of affirmation. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I'm a words person, okay? And even God affirms me with words. So when God wants to blow my head, He just sends somebody to me with an affirmative message. And I just smile. There was a day I had a really bad day, like there was fire in my house the night before, didn't sleep well. It was just we just worried. Generator had burnt down. We're thinking, well, we get money to buy a new one, and it was just late. And next morning, somebody I really admire in my estate sent me a voice note to say, "Oh, really sorry ahead of the fire. I think you guys are well. So I was trying to reach out and check that you're okay. And, just know, man, that message was too sweet for me. My whole stomach was down sugar. I was no longer angry. I was so happy. And it really lifted my spirits. And so that is the kind of person I am. It's words that get to me. And so I am always quick to give words to people as well. I'm so quick to it. If I see anybody, I'm ready to give you affirmation, to speak positively to you because I know what it does to me, right? Now, that's all well and good if the personal language is affirmation. But if he's not, I'm gonna waste my time. Like, I don't think my husband's going to affirmation. My husband just touching me, like, oh, you are the of my life. Like, you are feeling me. But all this talk is not there. So, for you that has words of information, and you also have words of affirmation, Kemi. You guys are well paid. Just be speaking sweet nonsense together, and it will be amazing. Well done. Thank you for engaging. Okay. Is there anybody that has any questions around, find your family members' love language? Have any questions around what if this, that, you're not able to find out anything? Any questions around this, because the topic today is understanding your family's love language and how it helps to build relationships. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat so that I can take, because we are almost getting to the end of our 1 hour time for the class. But I'll be happy to take questions if you have any. If you don't have any, I'll just give a few announcements before we call it a day. This is Women's Matters, your weekly Tuesday program that comes to you every Tuesday by 7 p.m. WAT. It is a product of the Women's Growth Academy, WGA, and what do we do here? We basically talk about everything that concerns the woman. It's called Women's Matter. So everything that concerns the woman in terms of maybe her faith, her love, her emotions, her work, her family, everything. We have no hold bars on any topic. Every month we have a theme of the month and then we have conversations around the themes, right? So this month we're talking of love because it's February, the season of love. I mean, I have 3 children born in February, so I'm the ultimate lover girl. But yeah, this is the month of love. So this week we're talking about, understanding your family's love language because, like I said, love, charity begins at home. So that's why we're starting from the home. Next week we'll have another conversation, and the week we'll have another one. And that is how we're going to be taking this month of love. Do you have any questions? Do you have anything you want to contribute? And while we're thinking about the questions, I want to share with you about our conference, WGA 2025 conference. We had an amazing time last Saturday. You need to go on our Instagram page and see for yourself snippets from the event. It was so good, even if we do say so ourselves. We had a good one. We had a good time. God moved, and everybody that was there was really completely and thoroughly impacted. And so, we've been having a lot of requests asking for virtual, what's the virtual session? How do we catch a replay? How do we catch a replay? And so we're going to be bringing the replay to you next week, Saturday, on YouTube, here on YouTube. And we will be live in the chats. We'll be live in the chats. We'll be answering your questions live. Let me know if you're ready for the virtual session. I'm coming along with all my speakers, and we're going to be giving you value on value upon value. So look, follow me on Instagram and make sure that you're paying attention. Set notifications. Let me set up a link. You'll be the first grab a seat. Limited seats available, and because we want to make this as interactive as possible. So thank you so much for coming out today. Thank you for joining my live. Thank you for the conversation. And If there are no other questions, I'm gonna call it a night. My name is Brenda Unu, and I'm signing out. Women's Matters for today, 4th of February 2025. Thank you. Have a blessed and beautiful evening. God bless you.